so much for coming to join us as we open Hawks Care LCC, our food pantry. We're able to also talk to you about services, show the school, and really get your feedback. What do you think about what we're doing here for students? So I know that a lot of our community partners here have had years of working with this same local community that the Learning and Career Center does. And this is also a great chance for you to meet some of the people from Harper. I see several. Just to have a chance to talk about what you do, to perhaps talk about how you've worked with us and if there's a value that you've seen in our relationships, because we're special. Harper's got a role out here that is a great extension of what we do for students, but it's also really community focused, and we have a lot of community engagement for programs, and I think this is representative of what we're doing here. So I'm Jennifer. I didn't actually introduce myself. I'm the supervisor here at LCC. And what I'd like to just put in your heads is this idea that when we talk about hunger, we use expressions like thirst for knowledge. We talk about having something to chew on, right? And when I've also heard the idea that a hungry person has a book as a tool. There are ways to raise yourself up and to get support that we see particularly in community colleges in America. So there are people who come here sacrificing every day to go to school. We see that everywhere. And I just want you to know that this is a wonderful extension of institutional support that we've had. My team I'd like to acknowledge very particularly. I don't see Goretti, but we have Freedom Ring here, and also our evening person who couldn't come, Bobby Caneda, as well as many student workers. And I see advisory board members as well as people like Patrick who document the whole city. So it's really lovely. And what I'd like to do now is just briefly state that LCC has a particular educational focus as well. So some of you are familiar with the fact that we focus more on career certificates than sort of the 18-year-old getting an associate's degree. So you'll have a chance to tour the facility afterwards if you'd like. And you'll see that some of those spaces actually have clinic, sort of mock areas where people can really do hands-on work. So we also have the school's largest adult education population, and you'll see then that a special part of Hawks Care LCC is to be able to be inclusive of that student population. So I'm really pleased to have you here today. I'm open for questions later, and I know that there are a lot of acknowledgments to give, and I don't want to miss those, so I'm going to be able to pass the microphone to a couple of other people. Freedom will say some remarks, and he's done a lot of the structure and work with folks like the Harper Leadership Institute team. And then also Cheryl Otto is going to be able to speak to the broader institutional impact that we have with students and trends that Harper is taking in terms of, again, helping people who may have fewer means to not only get in, but to continue and to graduate. So, Freedom, thank you very much.
Hello. Hello. I feel like I can talk without this mic. So many people to thank. I can't believe today is here. Next month is October. I'm just kidding. There was an article that came out last month by The Atlantic, and it was entitled, Many College Students Can't Afford to Eat. And I just wanted to share with you guys a couple of the stats that they put in there. So here's one quote. One recent survey at Temple University found that nearly 50% of students in more than 100 schools couldn't afford to eat a balanced meal. 35% of those students were skipping meals entirely because they could not afford or pay for their meals. Nationally, about 13% of Americans are food insecure, but some surveys have estimated that percentage of college students in the same situation is roughly 3 times that. So that's some staggering figures, and I think that what the article solidified for me is that hunger and food insecurity is not just a social service or a human need issue, it's actually a college completion issue. So keep that in mind as we move forward and we think about Hawks Care. How do we keep it sustainable? How do we keep it going? Our food pantry is super unique. We have a shopping experience here. So we have trained front desk associates that will engage our students privately to understand their situation and then to walk them through the pantry itself. Once they're there, they get a shopping list and they see all the different items that they're able to take, including the different quantities, and it's based on an honor system. So they're there themselves, they take what they need and they leave. We'll get to show you the space in a little bit. It's an incredible idea, and I think the psychology behind it is that dignity is actually our priority. We want to offer the students an opportunity to access food and resources without fear, embarrassment, or stigma. So our pantry is here. It's now a reality. This could not have happened without the HLI team. I want to thank them. Stand up, please. Angelina, Emilia, Pooja, Becca, Dave, Earl, Melissa Merlos. I don't see them here, but a big thanks to them. It could not have happened without them. Also wanted to say thank you to student involvement, Gabe Lara, Gabe, and Mary Kay Harton, Pamela Russell, Aaron Morettis, and Cheryl Otto. Give them a hand, please. Thank you. And then lastly, a big recognition to our team. So Goretti, thank you for everything that you do. Bobby, our student workers, Ashley, Dweegu, Shannon, Patricia, Ham from Continuing Ed, who helped us set up this space as well too. And then also special thanks to our site supervisor, Jennifer Brennan. Could not have happened without her support and her work, so thank you. And remember, there is no shame in being hungry or asking for food. So.
We'll be excited to show you the space, and I'd like to introduce Gabe Lara, who can talk to us a lot about student involvement's role and sort of some of the how this is a continuum of what's been going on at Harper.
Definitely. So thank you so much, everyone. On behalf of the Division of Student Engagement and the Center for Student Involvement, my name is Gabe Lara. I'm the Associate Dean of Students here at Harper. It's great to see community members, Harper family, friends, just to be here to support this great initiative. Again, thank you to HLI. You know, I know it's been said a lot, but we can't say that enough. That, you know, when we approached each other about this opportunity, how can we have it grow? Their ideas were wonderful and great, but I was like, we can't do this right now. So how can we do something? And they came up with, hey, how about LCC? You know, let's do this. Great, that was perfect. It was a great opportunity for that. Thank you to Freedom and Jennifer for the oversight of the expansion of Hawks Care. But when we talk about food insecurities, you know, it's very prevalent, and we want to make sure that we continue talking about it and supporting our students. So having this expansion of Hawks Care here at LCC is an amazing thing. It shows the commitment that we all have to better serve our students.
Thank you. Okay. Small scissors, big.
It's all right.
I'll prop it up and you can cut.
All right, are we ready?
All right.
We'll go this way so I don't cut
Sure.
your finger.
Don't cut your finger.